Good morning and welcome to the eBay barn. Today is going to be slightly different type of day. It's still dark in here. Haven't opened up any of the windows or anything. We only had one sale, just one little sale, and it was a drum. That rolling drum stuff. We're actually almost all out of this stuff. It was the larger one, which is going to be this one right here. I think it's the RX-D8, I believe. Yep. Oh, PDX8. So this sold for $38 plus shipping, and that is the only thing. That's a 6-inch one. I accidentally sent a 6-inch in lieu of an 8-inch before. They don't measure exactly the same. Actually, the 6-inch actually measures bigger, so it's kind of confusing, but they are marked on the back end. That was my mistake. But what we're doing today is we've been working nonstop for the last 3 weeks, probably to a month. There's some other stuff that has to get done around the house here also, but we are going to kind of have an off day and we're going to take you all along with us today. We need some stuff for the house still, so we're going to head up to a flea market actually in North Myrtle Beach to see if they have anything. We're still looking for a grill, an outside little table. We are looking for some end tables. The other day on the Bearded Thrift Machine, we did pick up a bed for the spare bedroom. I'll go ahead and show you that. And lo and behold, it did not actually work. We bought a headboard, like an old vintage headboard, mixed with a new frame, and it does not work. So I'm gonna modify it a little bit today. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just gonna look a little funny. But you won't be able to see it because it'll be underneath the mattress, so who really cares, right? So that's what we're gonna do today. Just one sale, $38. eBay has been brutally slow. The other day I listed 30 items on eBay. Most of those were golf clubs, so they are kind of slow sellers right now, and then they should start picking up here in the next couple of weeks. And but it's just been slow. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've listed a good bit and still not a lot of sales. We did have another sale that I didn't show, was a Ford tractor in the box that came out of the vintage storage unit. That sold for $55 almost instantaneously. That's already been sent out. And then we also had a $100 sale on some golf clubs. So that was sold almost instantaneously. It was a really good deal though. So right now I think people are trying to get them deals because other than that, nothing else is really moving on eBay. Whatnot's been very good. We still have a huge show tonight on Saturdays. Again, we have all Saturdays in probably April, and we might even throw in some Wednesdays in April. So if you want to see that type of stuff, again, the link is down below. But I'm going to go ahead and pack this thing up. Then we're going to head into Little River to go to Home Depot to pick some stuff up, and then to the flea market. So we are out at the flea market, but we did just pick up a brand spanking new 2-burner griddle. I've always wanted one, and we wanted to get the one that you could actually move because it'll be mobile on the back porch, right? We don't plan to like have this thing. We want it mobile in case we got to bring it inside if there's a bad storm or something like that. Not cheap though, for sure, but we do need some utensils for this. And also, what else are we looking at for the house?
So we need a nightstand, I need a chair, and
some outside furniture. And then we also picked up a ton of light bulbs because all of our chandeliers were missing half of their light bulbs. So let's go see what they got. All right, so far this is kind of like deserted, right?
Yeah.
This is like, we were here probably, let's walk over here. I would guess probably a year ago, and this was like jam-packed on a Friday, and today it's actually completely empty. So far we have not found anything but bike tires. Yeah, you're looking for a chair to sun yourself in. Did you want like a better one than that, right? That thing's $5. I feel like that's a little bit expensive. You got a vintage one over here though. That's more of a sit-up chair. It's only 10 bucks. It's actually probably a pretty good deal for $10. So far, it's probably the best deal we've seen. And the patio stuff, this is just a little bit too big for, what type of deal we got on that? $5 though.
Dang, that's a steal of deal.
That is actually probably a stupidly good deal for $5 for that. You know, we could probably get one at the beach, at the
beach store?
No. Oh yeah, at the beach store. So we're not here to flip anything. But the vintage Coach briefcase, 40 bucks. Man, I bet you could get that thing. I think these are worth, I want to say like 100 or more, I would think. Nice leather. Check that thing out. That's definitely real too. 100%. Yeah, that thing's really nice for $40. Trapped. My wasp friend over there is just stuck in there trying to get everybody. Which is fine. This is not for us, but that's the flip.
Yeah.
$10 Cavu. That's pretty good. Yeah. 10 bucks. Brand new cab booth. I think we'll end up on Whatnot. That ain't too shabby, but we still haven't found anything for the house. So we did just talk to somebody and they said that on Fridays, this is what it looks like. Just not a lot of people. Nothing's really open. We didn't know that. We thought that this place would be super busy on a Friday. But Saturdays, they said it's a lot more busier. Well, Saturdays is yard sale day, where we do a lot better yard sales, because tomorrow there are like literally a million yard sales. I think we're just gonna poke around some more, maybe back in here to see if we can find something. But other than that, I mean, we found a cat food bag, which ain't too shabby. We actually took a detour to Cherry Grove. Cherry Grove, actually, Kayla grew up around here, and this is where she went to the beach. I went to Myrtle Beach and Garden City and everything like that. There's Bullnose. They did our wedding for catering. Delicious food. Also in there, how much was a chair for you to lay out today?
$150.
$150 for a nice chair to lay out. We will be looking for that at yard sales.
I ended up getting a pool float, and I'm just gonna put a towel on it. That's gonna be my beach chair today.
For $6, which is way better than $150. We'll find one of those at the yard sale. We need some decking screws in here. They have an Ace Hardware thing too. We're gonna go there, do that, then head back to the house. So we are back at the house, and it's definitely chore day. And so what we have here is flickering candle lights. They were actually one of the cheapest options at the Home Depot to like do something like this, and these are gonna go up in here. Now this is actually on a solar thing where it only comes on at nighttime. Now we like it because we're thinking that it may look like it's gonna be like candles up there. We're hoping that this doesn't give the effect that it's a haunted house. You know what I'm saying? Like if we put these up here and it looks like, you know, it's supposed to be scary or Halloween or something like that, we're taking them off. We're hoping they look more candle-like, like, because that appears to be an old chandelier, old house ran by candles, good correlation. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not, so tonight we'll see if they actually look like that, because if you look up here, it actually looks like that they are candles. Hopefully it doesn't give the effect that we're supposed to be a haunted house. Also, there is a million roses about ready to bloom. We already have a couple roses here and there, but there are a good bit of roses, I mean everywhere. This will be trimmed eventually. Like I said, they are going to come and do all the yard and everything like that, but there are a ton, and it seems like they popped up overnight. Check this one out over here. That one has a ton of roses on it. So that's the finished product. And like I said, we'll check in on this later on tonight when it actually gets dark outside. They usually come on early, around 6 o'clock, because the solar thing is up underneath this area right here that doesn't get a whole bunch of sunlight, but that controls all of the lights. Actually, that controls one side of the yard, and there's another solar thing with a panel that controls the other side of the yard. So that's one upgrade we're doing today. I know these aren't huge upgrades, but they got to be done. All but one of those bulbs were burnt out. And then there's a chandelier in the bedroom that also has a ton of bulbs that were burnt out. Chandelier number 2 in the bedroom. And what we're going to do is actually we're changing them into the clear bulbs rather than these. There are several of these that are out. And these we actually got on sale for, I think, only like $8 for 4 of them, or $8 for 10 of them, because light bulbs nowadays are super expensive. So we're changing all these out. These actually look a lot better than these do. Whoa. So like I said, we did purchase a headboard and a queen like frame from the Restore on the Bearded Thrift Machine channel, and we got it home, and lo and behold, they don't match up. So this is what we got right here. As you can tell, there's some sawdust down there where I thought that I could drill the holes out and be all right, but that was not the case, not the case. The issue is that this has a like, you know, it's uneven down here is what I'm saying. So it's 59 or 60 inches from point A to point B for the queen bed, right? Well, the issue is that this hits this. You know what I'm saying? So you can't drill into there. So I'm going to make just a little spacer here, probably like I wish I had 1x, but I don't have any 1x, so I'm going to have to do a 2x4 that connects right here, that kind of shims it out, and then push this way, if that makes any sense, and then just bolt that to that. Because we actually spent up on this. We spent $45 on the headboard. It is solid wood, and it's exactly what Kayla wanted. It's an older style looking headboard, and it fits. We had to have a very specific headboard here because it has to fit from here to there, which is the curvature of the roof here, because as you can tell, obviously it kind of, you know, this is the roof line on the outside. That's why we like this old house, is because of all the roof lines and everything like that. One of my favorite areas, honestly, in the house is right here for some reason. I love how like you walk into a little tunnel and go in there, and it has the different roof line, and then her little cutout right there is super cool. Although the other day, I'll be honest with you, was on the phone with my dad and I didn't really know what I was doing because I never, I just never had a house like this before. I straight up drilled through the walls on this one. I thought that this would be like an actual thick wall. Nope, that's just a piece of board right there that goes straight over here into here. So now I got screws sticking out, so I'll just nip those off and tell Kayla, hey, don't put a lot of weight on them, Shell. Because I don't know who put them up, but they were not professionals. But what I'm going to do is go ahead. I got to get this done. I know this is not riveting eBay entertainment or whatnot entertainment, but this is what I got to do today to get ready for doing eBay and everything like that. We want to get this room done in case like our siblings, well actually Kayla's siblings live very close by. My siblings live far away, and if they ever want to come down here, they can boop, pop in this room, or if something happens, like my parents can stay here or something like that. Hurricane season's coming up. They live right on the beach. We now live further away from the beach, and everybody can come here and hang out during hurricanes. Because guess what? Hurricane season is approaching, and as you get older, it seems like they come faster and faster because hurricane season's no fun. It really is, and I used to enjoy it as a kid. It'd be like, oh, hurricanes, yay, days off of school. Buy a house and get homeowners insurance. Trust me, those feelings will subside. So what I'm going to do is go and take some measurements, cut some wood, put this thing together in some hodgepodge way, but it'll be good enough. You know what I'm saying? I know it don't look like much, but that will work perfectly fine. I was able just to move it out, shim it out with some 2x4s. Thing's gonna be perfect. Kayla did just actually buy a foam mattress that goes on this, and then we'll buy some sheets and stuff. That'll be good, but we do wanna thrift all of the other stuff for this room. Obviously at yard sales, huge yard sale day tomorrow, like I said. We need probably 2 end tables, but that's really it on this room. We just this, 2 end tables, and maybe 1 lamp or 2 lamps, and then like a little charging station. If somebody comes and stays, they can plug their phone in and stuff like that. I don't know about a TV in here. There's really no place to put it on the wall, but as long as the person has their cell phone, they can watch whatever they want. They can charge it here in the bed. So that ain't too shabby. On to the next chore. We will check in on Willow really quick, and she is in her kennel. It's open. She just loves her kennel. She can lay on the sofa if she wants to, but she really likes her kennel, and she just watches traffic all day long, like we always say. This room is only, I'm kind of giving like a room update. We just need a bench for the piano, and that is about it. Again, we want to thrift that, and we don't want to buy it new or anything like that. So we'll just wait around until we get to go in, and obviously the dining room table behind me. But other than that, the sofa and stuff is perfectly fine for now. That'll be great. And like I said, the next chore is we did buy that brand new grill. We looked at some that were used, and they were fairly rusted and pitted, and they still wanted like $100 or $150 for it. And I've been looking at yard sales, and everybody wants like $100, $150, and I was like, well, for $190, I can buy a new one, and it's not as rusted and pitted and all that stuff, and I can season it and do all that stuff today. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's in the back of the truck. I'm a one-man band again today. She's gonna be real heavy to get up the stairs. Might put it on Dolly. I might have Dolly's help today, but I might just muscle it up. My back feels pretty good, so I like to go ahead and ruin that real quick, so the rest of the day I can complain that my back hurts. Halfway there, that ain't too shabby. I'm beating the box up like crazy, but these little griddle things are actually fairly heavy. What we're gonna do is put it back here on the balcony. I think it's gonna be super, super cool. I've always wanted one of these and just never had a place to put one. And we got the one with the wheel so we can move it like maybe over here if it rains, or move it inside when it rains. But this right here will be when we're over here chilling, working, maybe before a whatnot show or something like that. We wanna grab a bite to eat. Like I said, we got the refrigerator right there. And what we can do is go ahead and just throw some stuff on, eat a little bit. This has basically become like our second home over here because we are over here maybe 8 hours a day. And I know it seems like, well, why wouldn't you just put this at that house? Because we'll probably use it more over here, to be quite honest with you, for like maybe lunch or something like that. And then we'll be able to just do everything here. And plus over there is really not a good place to grill out. There is one thing about this place is that the grilling out aspect of it, there's not a super cool place. Unless back there at the gazebo area, we make like an outdoor kitchen, which I think will be one of the ideas that we want to do, is out there make like an outdoor kitchen or area where we can just relax out there, maybe have a TV and then go in that, but that'll be way down the line. This is all we can do right now. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and muscle that in there and put it together. Hopefully there's no assembly required because it's in a huge box. And then later on, I'm gonna season it, and then we will end up cooking some stuff on it. Let's see what this bad boy looks like. That's what we got. We got the cheaper brand, the Nex grill, I think. And that's like the cheapest one they sell at I think this was Home Depot we got it at, but they had good reviews, and I'm a big review guy. Hey, listen, sometimes you ain't gotta spend. Webster stuff was $400 or $500. This was only like in the low twos, I think. And yeah, I think it was like 210 or 205 or something like that. I'm probably not gonna be able to do this on camera, set it up. It looks like there is some assembly required because why wouldn't there be? I don't see the wheels though or anything. All right, this might take me a little bit longer than I thought. We'll get it outside and then we'll go from there. So I'm taking this out and I got all this stuff actually out of it. I'm gonna read the instructions here in a second because I'm not quite understanding where all the pieces are, but this stuff right here, excellent for shipping. So if you buy anything new or whatever and they have like this is a perfect thing to shore up a box or anything. And then you got the styrofoam. Not a huge fan of that styrofoam, but it can be cut to purpose. And this box is a nice box. We'll keep this. We'll actually cut it down and we'll actually keep this. See how they short up the sides so nothing can damage it? That's exactly what we would do if we're shipping something super valuable or big and you're afraid that the box is gonna crush in on itself. But this right here is always a keeper when it comes to miscellaneous shipping materials. And also, like, if you know people that buy a whole bunch of stuff, they have a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon, ask them, hey, you got some of these? Because to buy this at Home Depot is super expensive. I think now their TV boxes are like $20 to $50, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, right now I probably got $40 in packing material, minus that on the grill. That's not bad. But there is a lot more assembly required because all of the pieces are in here that I have to assemble. So we'll work on this. There are all the pieces right there. I'm gonna try to not use the instructions just to see if I can do it, because that's what I do. And then if I can't, then we're gonna use the instructions and I'll see how long it takes. Just put it together, but I was wondering if they gave me more bolts and nuts or I missed a step, but it's working really good. I'll have to go through the instructions again to see if I did miss a step. I don't think I did. There, boom. But huge issue that I forgot. So I was gonna use a big propane tank for this. I was gonna bring it upstairs. I got the adapter and everything like that, or I thought I had the right adapter. Totally forgot. This is like on the go type of thing. It's got wheels. So in my brain, I didn't even like click 2 and 2 together that this is made for specifically the small propane tanks. I'm an idiot because what I did was I actually got rid of like 10 to 15 small propane tanks when I moved because I didn't have a use for them, and I only have 2 big propane tanks now that I don't have a use for. So I'm gonna run up probably to the True Value real quick to see if they have an adapter to use a big propane tank or get small propane tanks. Then there's an adapter you can get to fill big propane tanks or little propane tanks with big propane tanks. So that's what I got so far because I was looking at this, I was thinking, well, where does the propane go? It goes up under here in this little nozzle here, and I'm thinking, well, how am I gonna get a big old propane tank on that tiny little nozzle? The thing I got in my brain, it just doesn't make any sense. Cool thing about this too, I was thinking over here, well, what is this? That's weird. Wait, is that where you put your your mittens or something like that? No, it's where you put your propane tank when you're not using it. What an idiot. I didn't think about that. So we're going to run up to the True Value real quick to see if they have a small propane tank. If they don't, my dreams of having chicken hibachi is not happening today. We were going to do that tonight. I was going to season it probably for the next, hour or so. I forget how long it takes. I'll have to watch a YouTube channel on that. And then, I put it together. So that's step 1, right? Ooh, flames. Got it all together. Again, I got the propane in there. We're just chilling today. What we're gonna do is go ahead and season it. I did watch multiple YouTube channels on how to season. I did get this, it's called Bacon Up Bacon Grease. And it seems like some people use this. Some people use avocado oil, which we have. I'm putting it on exactly. We're gonna do like 3 cycles of seasoning. Something should happen to where it changes colors or something. I have no idea. I've never done this before. We'll take y'all through the processes. I know, again, this is not riveting eBay content or whatnot content. This is what I'm doing today, is what I'm saying. Is tomorrow is going to be super busy for us. We're waking up at probably 5:30 in the morning to hit a ton of yard sales and then also to do our whatnot show at night. So there's going to be super, super busy. And we just thought today we would relax and, you know, do a little bit of things around the house, get the house done, and then go from there. I think that's burning off some of the new. They said do this for like 10 minutes. I did clean it with some soap and water right off the rip. I know you're not supposed to use that on, you know, that was the only time it's supposed to do that. Soap and water, cleaned it really well, and then we'll go ahead and put the actual seasoning stuff on there. And like I said, tomorrow, super long day for us. We'll probably work between 12 and 15 hours. We are trying to figure out where we can actually take a day, or not really 2 days, but maybe a day off. Maybe just one day where we can do stuff around the house, relax a little bit, and see if that can work. Because honestly, we were just talking, in 14 days or 13 days will be my 5th year on YouTube, and I haven't taken a day off really ever since. Once I started YouTube, it's been all content and doing stuff like that. So we're smoking pretty bad. Hopefully the fire department ain't called, because like I said, we in the city, and people probably be pretty concerned about what's going on here. So next day here, and the chicken hibachi was delicious. What we did was we had chicken hibachi, and we watched Cletus's Freedom 500.
It wasn't really hibachi.
What? What's hibachi? I was hibachiing it up. I was chopping and flicking stuff.
We had barbecue chicken, vegetables.
Listen,
and
I am a chef, is what I'm telling you.
You are. You're a very good chef.
It was hibachi, everybody. Okay. I don't even know what hibachi is. I'm feeling that it was. But we just got back. It's next day. We just got back from yard sale. An epic day out there. Also, if you guys were wondering, I had like a little clip of the candle lights that I put up. Horrible. It makes it look like it's some spooky house. Like we're trying to be like a Halloween house. That's what we didn't want to happen. We will be changing those today. Back to the other ones, or have to buy more or something like that. But they are cool looking.
Yeah.
Only if you're trying to make it look like Halloween time. Yeah. But they do actually look like candles flickering. Yeah. Like they're actually very accurate. But look at all the stuff. We actually already took some stuff up. This is all the stuff we bought today. It was a super good day. We also bought some furniture for back in the yard, so you have a place to lay out. Like we said in this video, we went to Bullnose, $150 for cheap chairs. Should we show the chairs here too?
Yeah. All
right, let's go back in the back real quick. These chairs we got, they had $100 on both of them, right? And I hit them at 75, and she spent $300 a piece, which I probably would say that's true, considering the fact that yesterday we were having chairs that were like 150. So what we got out here are 2 aluminum and fabric chairs for only $37 a piece. This is why we go to yard sale, folks. Eventually we might sell them at a yard sale when we're done with them or whatever, but these right here, you're gonna lay out. You got this also for only $5. Mm-hmm. We saw these at Bullnose for what, 50 to 60 bucks? Mm-hmm. And you even said you might, put beach sand out here?
Nah.
You could probably put your own beach. I don't know, it could possibly happen. We were talking about a pool, but honestly, pools are such a headache.
They are.
And I mean, they're very, very expensive to put in. We would have the space to put a pool in, like right here, but I'm telling you.
Give me like a little kiddie pool.
Yeah, or I could just squirt you with the hose or something. So this was a steal of a deal, but I'm telling you, that's why we're going to yard sales, is to actually buy stuff for the house, because it is so much cheaper than buying new. Pick this up at a yard sale for only 10 bucks, right? Mm-hmm. And check this out, that is perfect match. You put it like right about there?
Yeah.
Does that look good? And it has the anti-slip, so it doesn't like slip or anything. That's a pretty good little runner for 10 bucks. Again, at the store, what, 40 to 50 bucks? We have to go to yard sales to find stuff to flip it online for a profit. But honestly, we're getting more excited by going and finding stuff for the house, right? Mm-hmm. But we have to be smart about it, because we don't want to clutter the house, because there's a lot of cool stuff out there, and we want to make sure that we don't clutter it up or anything like that. But like I said on the channel, we already did a room walkthrough. We don't have much more. Like we're doing way better than I thought, and the dining room table is the big one, and also the kitchen table is a big one that I think is gonna take the longest to find. But even little rugs like this, you're gonna save at least 75% off going to yard sales. That ain't too bad. We do appreciate everybody watching these videos. Remember, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 30,000 subscribers on here. We do appreciate it.